Hey guys, first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
So this is a Hunter 1886. And I don't know what finish this is. There was some discussion. So Rick actually bought
Probably
this fan.
oil rubs bronze, I believe they call that.
So Rick actually bought this fan, and he thought it was a finish that he was looking for. And then when he got it, the paint markers just go so quickly. When they actually picked up the fan, Rick's assumption is that it was painted, and so he didn't want it anymore, so he gave it to us. It does not look painted to me, but I've not looked at it closely. When you were installing it, did you see any signs that it was painted?
No, not at all.
I don't know. I know these came in a bunch of different finishes. I still think it could be a factory finish, but we may never know. For behind the scenes footage and additional content, go to patreon.com/dspiffy. Anything you want to say about this, Pete, before we...
Yeah, definitely got a couple of these, and these are really up there with Hunter Originals.
In terms of what?
Well, the way they perform and their durability, the way they mount and all that.
It's surprising that they perform so well and that they are as durable as they are, because even though the housing is cast, it's just a small stamp spinner in there.
Yeah.
But they actually, it's probably Halsey made. I have not looked into it. Probably either Halsey or CEI, and it really performs well. So yeah, these are good performers. I saw these as a kid and loved them, but of course my favorite finish for these is the polished brass or burnished bronze or whatever we're gonna call them. Yeah, those are my favorite finish for them. This had to be a pretty cool install with that long down rod and that
I wonder what this has been installed in.
Rick might know. Like I said, he picked it up, so he might have seen where it came from. Okay, we ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, so it's set to low on the pull chain.
Yep.
Yeah, I briefly tried hanging one of these in, I think, my bedroom or my living room. I can't remember which. And wasn't the right look, but it definitely moved enough air. And again, it's pretty surprising when you consider that it's a cheap stamped spinner in there with a really nice cast housing. So I don't know if the cast housing helps by absorbing some of the heat. Stupid June bugs.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, well, that's, you want to do the power factor and all that?
Yes.
So it's going to be a capacitor speed, looks like.
Yep, low power factor.
Yeah. You care to measure it at all, or you think?
Sure.
Oh, he's going to measure it, okay. Be interesting to try one that hangs this low. One of the things we learned yesterday, I think, is that the closer you get, the better reading you get. That doesn't seem right, because that would be like...
Okay. 136.
That seems right.
Yeah, if you divide that by 4.
Yep.
136 divided by
34.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you try to reach that pull chain?
Oh, yes.
See what happens.
Oh. No, I cannot reach it.
What? This is the worst day of my life. Bye, Fanstick. Not sure if this is even in the shot. There we go. Fanstick is the solution to all of my problems.
Okay, here's the medium. 0.44 amps. Yep. About 29 watts. Just half a power factor.
Okay. Yeah, the curse of testing fans in both the barn and the garage in spring and summer is we can either have the doors open and fresh air, in which case we get bugs, or we can have the doors closed and hot, stale air and fewer bugs. So we usually opt for the fresh air, which means you might hear some bugs in the background, and, Someone suggested that we play Rick or Junebug instead of Rick or Sheep.
Well, no, it's Rick or Sheep.
I agree. It's Rick or Sheep.
576.
Okay, that seems probable. 144.
Yep.
I think maybe that low speed reading was a little low. I'm not sure though. It's hard to get a good reading on a dark fan in a dark room. So. Okay. Well. I think we already know how. Oh, you want to try again? You can try again if you want to.
Okay.
Oh no!
Oh, I cannot change the speed. It's too high up.
This is the worst day of my life. Buy fan stick. Fan stick is the solution to all of my problems.
Yesterday we used Florida fans.
That's true. For those situations where you need a longer and harder fan stick, there's Florida fan stick, which is 69%.
What's the drawing?
0.68.
Okay. What did I get? 79 watts.
Pretty high power factor.
Yep, power factor of 1, basically.
Yep. That looks like at least 200.
Giving me a 947. I don't know if that's...
That seems right, because that's 947 divided by 4. That's about 237. So
Okay.
that checks.
It is rather fast.
It is. It's going pretty fast.
Okay.
Pretty good airflow. Let's see just how good the airflow is.
Yeah.
We have the new updated fan surface area chart. A la metal.
Just got a 570.
570. Okay, so 52 is 14.75 times 570. Around 8,400. I don't have my laptop today, so I can't compare that to other fans. That's a little bit more than a K55 Zephyr, because the K55 Zephyr we tested was 8,100, I think. Now, one of the things, should I go ahead and spin it down?
Yeah.
One of the things we'll want to think about as we keep testing fans.
Yeah.
And so here's what I want you to do, actually, your medalists.
What?
Pick a fan, not for today, just and hear me out when you know, to the end until you decide what fan. Pick a fan, any fan that you happen to like. Off the top of my head, I think a Rick blender would be good for this, but any fan that is something that we want to test the same fan in here, in the enclosure, and in my garage, and see if the readings are different. Because you're probably going to get a higher CFM rating in the bay than we would in the other two places, because there's open air above the fan.
True.
As opposed to, we'll probably get the lowest CFM rating in the garage because it's the closest to the ceiling. But the only way to find that out for sure would be to test the same fan.
Put it in reverse with fan stick.
Yep. Fan stick serves multiple purposes. So, again, you can pick the fan, but it should be something that we know consistently, like we know it's a good performer and we know how it performs, and, you know.
I think I know.
What do you know?
A Union Gold line.
The only reason I would caution against a curved bladed industrial is because that adds another dynamic to the variation. You know what I mean? Because the curved blades are going to be performed differently in different spaces as well. But we can definitely do that. We can definitely do a Union Gold line. In fact, we could do your Union that we tested, because we already did that in the enclosure.
Yeah.
So then we do that here and we do that in the garage, and we'd have 3 readings.
Okay.
So it's just, and then of course the whole thing is that I'm averaging the readings as we get them. So, like, you know, if we test a bunch of we taste a bunch of different originals in different locations, you know, we'll average the readings, and, you know, so on and so forth.
Oh, long spin down.
Long spin down, probably something to do with that heavy cast housing.
Yeah.
When we take this apart to store it, are you going to take that long down route off of there, or are you going to leave it on?
I'll probably take that off.
Yeah, we don't need to keep it on there.
No.
You ever hang one of these in your bedroom?
Yeah, I was thinking about pulling out my polished brass one. I still have that
Oh,
one.
so you haven't yet, but you could.
Yes, I could.
I mean, they're great performers.
Yeah, I would do it. I would do. I mean, I have just like this one, no light kit on it.
Yeah, they're cooler. They're better without the light kit.
Yeah, I've figured out a lighting for my bedroom without a fan,
Yeah.
so I can put more of any fan I'd like.
I mean, you know me. I hate having just like a central single light in a room the way rooms have.
Okay.
Rick or sheep?
That's Rick.
Okay. It's a small Rick.
Yep.
Okay, well that's low.
Yeah.
8 watts, low power factor.
Okay. Does that seem a little slower in reverse?
If you want to test it, you can.
Okay. Just. Is it picking up speed?
It might be. Once again, heavy cast housing that spins with the motor. Which is a pretty cool design. Yeah, I think our reading on the first.
46.
Yeah, I think our reading on the first go round was off. I think this reading's a little. Because yeah, that's 62. That seems closer.
Mm-hmm.
We can always tell you what here. Let's go do medium and high.
Mm-hmm.
I think we already know the solution to all of our problems at this point.
Is fan stick.
Well, you don't need to tap. I mean, you can. No harm, certainly. $5.44 I saw.
Yeah.
Is that correct? That's about the same as did on forward, so I'm gonna guess that's correct. Okay. You know, have we ever CFM'd a Stratojet?
No.
That'd be an easy one to do. Just get the orange ladder right there.
Yep.
Well, yeah, no window.
Do my two 1152s.
Yeah.
To start, because I think because of what they are. Meaning.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see. I can't remember which one was actually the strongest performer after I tweaked them all. Do you?
No.
I don't either. Be curious to see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's drawn the same.
Okay. Well, capacitor base.
Yep.
Okay, can.
You want to? Well, you tacked it on the other 2 speeds, so.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, might as well do it here.
926.
Okay, do me a favor while you're up there.
Yeah.
Turn it to low reverse, or low forward. Like reverse it and turn it to low. 232. Let's just do low again since I don't think we got a good reading the first time around. That's high.
Yep. Medium low. Of course, if this was an AMG,
Yeah?
like the little silver one, hang it this low, just like the Milwaukee
Public Museum. That was even longer down rod than this.
Oh yeah, it hung from like the peak all the way.
Hung from like the peak and down lower than this, I think.
Yeah.
It was quite the install, and I think it was a spiral rod.
Okay.
My memory made it a spiral rod, and those did come with spiral rods, but that means they would have had to custom order that long of a down rod. They couldn't just use pipe. So that would have been. I mean, I think they would have had to custom order a long down rod anyways. I don't think because those had the Casablanca style down rods.
Yep.
But yeah,
274.
Yeah, it makes more sense.
What's that?
274 divided by 4 is about 69.
Okay.
Yeah, akin to Florida Fancy. Turn it back to high though.
Okay.
Okay, where do you think it's gonna start?
Turn it off.
It's off.
Okay. I think this should start at 2.
I think you're right. I'll say 3. I'll go ahead and start the test rig since I'm over here, and you can take it over if you like. That's 1. 2.
Oh, that is going.
Metal Pete wins.
Okay. All right, what's the draw? 3.
Crunch.
No, that's 4. Okay, that's not a bad low. That's a restaurant low.
Yep.
And this, of course, makes me think of a restaurant now.
Yeah.
Especially that long down rod from that high up ceiling.
Absolutely. Saw that in a lot of restaurants. Yeah. Do you remember Ruby Tuesdays having installs like that?
No.
They weren't this cool of a hunter. They were like studio series and stuff, but they'd have like dozens of like studio series and summer breezes on long down rods with 4 light kits.
Yep. Trying to think. There was the McDonald's in the Dells.
Oh yeah.
That really high. I can't remember what those were, but
like
one
100
came,
passports or something.
Yeah, they were really long down rod. One came. A couple of them hung about as low as the gold lines, but then the one in the center hung about maybe this low here from that high up.
Who knows what they were thinking?
Yeah, it was like right by the counter. Here's 5. Let's see what 5.
Yeah, Reese has shared pictures of that.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I've been there since I was a kid there.
I've never actually been there, so I've just seen the pictures. Actually, next time I'm driving through the Dells, I should stop.
Well, it's because we went to Noah's Ark when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And the Ark, that was like a game room, had blenders with light kits on it.
I remember.
Oh, you do?
Well, I don't know if I saw it as a kid or I just saw pictures. I know we only went to Noah's Ark once when I was a kid, and it was like for a class trip. Oh. So I don't remember what I'm remembering from pictures and what I'm remembering from my childhood.
And there was
memory.
another game room and gift shop right by
Blenders
the way.
and Dayton Lascos, or not Dayton Lascos, Cast Dayton's?
Yes, like high tech.
Yep.
Short down rod type.
Go ahead and keep going through the thing.
Here's 6.
5 was a good low, I think.
Yeah.
We also, because we only went to Noah's Ark once, but then our class trip every year, other than that, used to be to Riverview Water Park, which was like the big competing water park when I was a kid. I don't think it's around anymore.
Okay.
Maybe it is, but it's not the big competitor anymore. Now I think Kalahari is, or one of those other big ones.
Oh, actually, Mount Olympus.
Mount Olympus.
That's an outdoor one.
Yeah.
But I would say Kalahari's pretty much a hotel type resort. Well, that has Palisades in it.
I've seen the pictures.
In fact, one of our rooms, we stayed at it once, way back in the beginning of the millennium. Mm-hmm. Our room, because we got upgraded to a suite, had an islander in the living room.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are we at?
We're at 7.
Let's keep moving.
And...
Uh-oh. Cover your ears.
And now...
Protect your children. Crunch, 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 crunch. 8's not a bad medium low for this.
Nope.
So the big water park when I was a kid that competed with Noah's Ark was Riverview. And the cool thing about Riverview is it was half water park, half amusement park. So they had...
That's like what Mount Olympus is.
I wonder maybe Mount Olympus bought out Riverview and redid it. Because that was the big draw for that one. That's why we always went to that one instead of the other one. Because there would be like regular roller coasters and rides and stuff, and then there'd be water slides and water rides.
9.
Both. But some very important fan installs from my childhood were at Riverview. There was a candy shop, and candy shops always had cool fans for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And in the front of the candy shop, there was a whole bunch of those Sears spinners that like those Encon spinners, like the bottom mount brass and white ones. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I think I had one.
Yeah.
I pulled one.
Yeah. Just like it's like they were the first bottom mount
This is
spinner.
10.
And but that wasn't what was cool. What was cool is when you went in the back, like by where the ice cream was and all that, there was the first place I ever saw a white designer, even before the Milwaukee Public Zoo.
Okay.
It was white 52 inch with the plastic blades. And then it was that and a spinner. I don't know who made the spinner. Probably it was like a Gulf Coast, like a Sinlixy kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the first place I ever saw a white designer, and that's the reason I love white designers so much.
Yeah. And 12.
Crunch, 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 crunch. I forgot to warn everybody. I'm sorry. You know, at 8, 12, and 20, it gets really dangerous in here. You could sustain ear damage from the loud crunching.
And 13.
Honestly, I think an 8, 12, a 5, 8, 13 would be a really good control for this.
Oh, yeah. What it drawn high?
6, 8.
Okay, so then we're good there. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's a great... I could go a little faster on the medium, but not too much faster. Like maybe a 5, 10, 15 would also be okay.
Here's 14.
A June bug tried to attack Pete.
Yep.
It didn't like the crunching.
15.
Those bugs are really stupid.
Well, remember Dumb and Dumber? You want to get some to eat? No, I just swallowed a big June bug in the mountains when they were on that little mini bike.
Yeah.
I'm not too hungry right now.
Yeah.
This is 15. I mean, I get you, but then 10 is a little fast.
Yeah.
10 was a little fast for a medium low, from what I'd like.
Yeah, you like the 5, 8, 13.
Yeah, because medium low has that.
Second most metal control after 8, 12, 20.
Yep.
Other
This
than a
is
good solid
16.
state, of course.
17. 18. 19.
Everybody, get as far away from your screens as possible. Turn your volume all the way down to the lowest level. Invest in the highest quality earplugs you can get. Get your children to a safe location.
And 20.
Crunch, 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 crunch. I feel like he's really trying to crunch too loudly at this point. I feel like he's leaning into it further than needed. Thankfully, that means we're done with the crunching just for this video until the next fan test.
Mm-hmm.
So.
21. See, 22. We're getting close. 23.
Kind of off topic, but there's two videos I'd really like to shoot. One is when the cats come into the barn.
Mm-hmm.
The other is when the sheep try to get in the barn.
Rick.
Or Rick.
Rick or sheep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of leveling off at this
Yeah, it
point.
doesn't seem like it's going to go over.
Yep. I just went up to
I'm gonna hit
30.
the 10 switch. Hit the high switch. Let's see if that's... Oh, I forgot I was closer.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah. Take it off the high switch. So like a nose hair. Okay, how do you think it's going to do on the solid state?
I think... Trying to think if I want to chant silent.
It's been pretty good. If you chant silent, then I'll go with bedroom quiet, because I would be really hurt if it's louder than that, because it's been such a great performer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start inching it up then.
Well, I think I lost the silent.
That's very faint. Like, if you hadn't said I lost the silent, I wouldn't have heard it. Because I heard something, but it was like, was that sound here all along? Was that one of the ballasts? Or, you know what I mean? It was that kind of thing. It wasn't overtly.
Yeah.
Yeah, bedroom quiet for sure.
Yeah.
Very acceptable level of noise.
Mm-hmm.
That's the loudest. There's plenty of fans that are louder than that with no solid state control.
Oh, yeah.
So definitely an acceptable level of noise, but not silent. Okay, 0 to high is the only thing left.
That's right.
Other than metal test, Rick test, and thanking our sponsors.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think it's going to do inrush wise?
I think there's going to be a big inrush with that cast.
I think you're right, but I'm going to go with small then. Oh yeah, that's big. Let's let it drop. How metal is this?
Fairly high.
Fairly high. Does it lose some metal points for not being the original burnished brass finish? Maybe like a fraction of a point lower.
Maybe, but
not about the same.
Yeah, the performance-wise.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, this is no Hunter Tuerk, like the old one.
Well, those are DC, and those are friction drive.
Really? Like, how old are the Tuerks?
I think late 1800s. Well, that's why it's called the 1886, because that's when that model came out, I think.
Yeah.
Either that or that's when the Hunter Fan Company was founded with the water power. I don't know. I talked about it in my Hunter Workbench video with Brian Hicks, and then I did a follow-up without Brian Hicks because he talked so slow, and I figured not everybody could sit through 2 hours of Hunter original talk.
Okay, but I was going to say, how'd they make a friction drive back then?
I mean, the same way they did it now, where they had a sideways motor and they had a wheel. And it looked kind of like the...
Newton?
I think it looked more like the Newton or the Emerson. I think it did look more like the Newton. I think you're right. Okay. I've never seen one run, but I assume it'd be pretty noisy. So
in DC, I thought, unless, they did start with DC.
Yep.
Before they used AC current.
Because back then, they didn't know if, like, the whole country was going to be AC or DC. And because there's advantages to both of them. I want to say Thomas Edison wanted the country to be DC.
Yes.
And then Nikola Tesla wanted it to be AC, if I recall correctly.
Right.
And it's not that unknown, but everybody credits Thomas Edison with the invention of so many things. But he was one of those guys that basically stole other people's inventions and put his names on it. Oh. A lot of the things that he invented actually came from Tesla. And that's why they used to work together, and then Tesla got tired of getting screwed and he split off. So there's a lot of interesting history there. That's way off topic for this video. So yeah, it's very high on the metal test. It's very high on my test as well. I love 1886s. I wouldn't mind having one in every finish. Like Pete, I mean, nothing tops the classic original finish that they came in, the burnished brass, which is kind of like a dull polished brass. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't turn down one of these in any finish. We've got a Verde kicking around somewhere.
Yep.
Do we have any other finishes?
Oh yes, a white one, kind of
white
a
one.
Dull white one,
okay.
Or something kind of like this box here.
Okay.
Like one of these white box
Gotcha.
types. I don't know what to call that. Like
like a sand or something.
Sand white or something.
I wouldn't mind a terracotta. I wouldn't mind a black. I wouldn't mind any of them, but I mean, they're
there's
great.
A white one upstairs.
I was surprised that this wasn't Rick because, because he loves '90s Hunters.
Yeah.
And again, I think he thinks the finish is an original, and that's why he abandoned it. But even put it this way: if it's not original, it looks great, and if it is original, then even better. Mm-hmm. So. Okay, well, let's thank our sponsors. You guys got to see a demonstration of our first sponsor, our legacy sponsor in this video, which, of course, is Fanstick. Let me zoom out so you can see his metalness with Fanstick. And then do you want to show him Fanstick XXX?
Yes.
So we got to get some neon colors on this because, after all, this is Florida Fanstick, which is 69% longer and harder than regular Fanstick. But that can really reach.
Yes.
So to find out more, go to buyfanstick.com, fanstick.biz, lightstick.biz, and buyfanstickxxx.com. Pete, I'm a little hungry. Do you know where I wish I could eat?
Yes. A Taco
Burrito Mexico.
That's right.
That's a real restaurant in Green Bay, Wisconsin that serves tacos, burritos, and Mexicos. Pete and I have been there. Andy and I have been there. Rick has not been there. Rick sucks. So it's highly recommended. And then when I get thirsty after eating my tacos, burritos, and Mexicos, I want to wash it down with a refreshing Sperry, the beverage of fan collectors. What do we say? I heard that you're going to be selling some Sperry's at Fanimation. Is that true?
I'm thinking about it.
You might be able to get a Sperry at Fanimation. And of course, you can always go to Tubular Tokes in Florida and ask for a Sperry.
Well, he said that should be coming out soon with him. He said he's about to get those in.
Yes. You got to talk him into relabeling them though, instead of them having the wrong name. You got. He might listen to you if you suggest it. No crunching. We're not doing 8, 12, and 20.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you'll get your crunching ready because let's talk about one of our sponsors, 81220 LLC, where our motto is crunch, 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 crunch. You got to hear from them earlier in the video. The Good Manufacturing Company, which has provided the lighting for this video, for What Excellence is Too Much, turned to the Good Manufacturing Company, and they legitimately did make some of the lights in this video that are providing. You can't see the light on camera, but you can see the light on camera.
Yeah.
Actually, Pete, whatever one you are, why don't you go turn off the lights from the Good Manufacturing Company, see if we can see the difference.
Okay. Sure.
Turn it back on. It's hard to see the difference. There's so many other lights. Just hit the main kill switch. We'll just pretend all those are from the Good Manufacturing Company. Yeah, basically the lights behind us are from the Good Manufacturing Company. So, Rick or Sheep the game. We played Rick or Sheep earlier in this video, and you too can play Rick or Sheep. All you have to do is go to rickorsheep.com. Anything else, Pete? Did I cover all our sponsors?
That is, actually.
Okay. Well, as always, patreon.com/dspiffy for additional content. There are, last I checked, something like 350 videos that are available on there that are not available publicly. The earliest one goes back to, I think, either the late 90s or early 2000s. It was a video I found on my old computer that I didn't realize I had taken. So there's definitely some old content on there and some new content. Pete and I filmed some stuff yesterday that'll probably be on Patreon, but won't be public, or at least not anytime soon. So definitely go check that out. As always, what else can they do, your metal list?
Bye, fans.
Bye, fans. Thanks for watching.